I want to know where Gumshoe is, dude. Like, that's what these fucking new ones are missing, man. Is some fucking dick. For sure, dude. Like, he hasn't been in a mainline game since like 3, right? Had his time to shine. What, but Emma Scott, fucking Larry Butts, and all these people didn't, man? Fuck that, dude. Fuck those characters. I'd rather those guys fucking jump off a fucking cliff, man. Bring back my boy Dick. Shoot, can we take him with him? Yeah. Oh, wasn't he Apollo Justice? Okay. I forgot. Alright. I mean, fuck, Maya had her time to shine, man. I don't fucking need more of her, dude. She can suck it. At least Gumshoe got some good backstory. And development and all that, and investigations, man. We got the Gumshoe lore. Why is this broken? I see what you're doing there, Nestor. Unless everybody's on this big ruse to, like, surprise me with a Gumshoe appearance, then I'm pretty sure he's not in this game. I respect it, man. Yeah, where the fuck is Great Ace Attorney, man? That shit's supposed to be the bomb. You fucking fucks! Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait for the fan patch. Yeah, the guy who made the originals made the Great Ace Attorney games. They're supposed to be pretty good. Ah! It's so funny, like Investigations 1 sales were shit, but the second game is like one of the best Ace Attorney games. Oh, what the fuck? My frames! My frames! What is wrong with my frames, man? This better be a temporary setback. I don't need another run of bullshit. Okay. Oh. I'm gonna go take a piss while we wait to see if the fucking frames are gonna die on me. Looks like it's stabilized. We've had a couple frame drops this stream. Nothing insane like back in the day, but call it PTSD. But you know how it is. Stream just lag, what'd I say? Fuck, man, I don't know. I was screaming. I had my dick out on stream, man. Fuck. I just missed it. I think I was just talking about the Great Ace Attorney had the original writer, and they're supposed to be pretty good. And I thought it was funny that Investigations 1 would sell like shit, so they didn't localize the second one, which is one of the best games in the series. Fucking crap, calm, man. Just put them all out there, man. Just put them all out there. Give me all the Ace games. I've only got Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton after this I can even do. Till the fan patch. Alright, I'm gonna take a piss. Brush them teeth. Yeah, Capcom's fine. It could be a lot worse. Slow decline with the 3DS one. Some people like this one better than most. So I don't know. I definitely feel like people are used to the formula. I'd rather them keep bringing out more of these than like just not doing it, you know. But I definitely think they should maybe mix it up a bit. I want to see the ones like the Great Ace Attorney, man. Show me the like different ones, you know. Like those are the like investigations, Great Ace Attorney. Those are the games that need to fucking be there to spark life into the series, you know. Yeah, they should release it more in more areas, man. Like fucking put a PC port out there, Jesus, dude. I mean, fucking A, you could take your Android ports to like PC, like easy. I think the entire series is on Android right now, minus Spirit of Justice and the spin-offs. I feel like they need, yeah, God tier stories or something. Some cases are, they play it a little close to the chest, man. The formula, you know, you get a little used to how things are gonna go and how to do shit. But there's still been good cases and good surprises even in the 5th game, so I don't mind. I mean, it's not, it's definitely not captured the same fire that the first 3 did, or even the 4th one. Like they still, the 5th one didn't capture the same, you know, whoa, it's amazing feel, but that's how I'm feeling with this one right now. But not that it's bad, I don't know if it's just me playing the series so much or just maybe it's the games, I don't know. But I don't mind them doing more, but I feel like they should definitely try to take a few risks here and there. There are people working on AA124 with the DD style. Why? The best part about the original ones was the pixel art. Compared to these, you know, and the music and shit. I guess everything was good, but oh, yeah, that was one of the cool parts that I still prefer over the 3D style. Like, I like the pixel work way better, the sprite work. Like, I don't mind the art in this, but I don't really consider it much of an upgrade. I definitely feel like something was lost with this style. I don't know. I don't think they should stop making them. Change them up, sure. I could see that a little bit. That's a good top 3, Nestor. I don't know. I mean, I don't know about this game. I haven't finished it yet, but definitely Investigations 2 and Trials and Tribulations. Yeah, I feel like people, I mean, of course they would upgrade it to 3D. Most people aren't going to want the old sprite work over the 3D. But personally, I like the old sprite work better, you know. I know why they changed it, and it lets them do a lot more. It's totally fine. I just kind of like the old style better. I felt like I had more character when they had to like hand tune like every single frame. Maybe it was just the people directing it. I felt like each character had a lot more spunk. Like all the Edgeworth's pointing, all of his, you know, his smirks, all the slams, all the characters. It just felt all like just tuned up to 10, man. You know. Sometimes it just feels like kind of a shell of that, especially when they're using the same characters doing their exact same shit. Like Maya and Edgeworth, like they seemed a lot more lame than the 3D ones. Call it just being used to the sprite style, but I feel like they just kind of lost some of the spunk, man. The new characters are fine though, so I mean it's fine. You know, it's not a big deal. Nitpicking them. Chicken wings. Nothing like some chicken wings for breakfast, man. Some people that straight out refuse to play things with old graphics. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty big group of people, man. I don't think those are the kinds of people that are playing Ace Attorney, but maybe. Maybe new people to the series. Maple bacon. Not a bacon fan, man. It's alright. I mean, I eat it, but I don't think I've ever made bacon for myself. I respect it, though, man. People not playing old games, it's a damn shame, right? There's so many things from every single generation to experience, man. Just in games, let alone any other medium. I don't have enough life to live to do all the things I want to do. Just within like my choice mediums. Man, it's amazing that somebody could be bored, man. Like, like goddamn, you limit yourself, man. Like. I mean, that's fine, whatever, like, you like what you like. If you've given everything a shot, it's totally cool, but I'm glad that I'm somebody who likes doing a lot of shit. There's some great stuff. It's like old or new, man. Just because the technology's gotten better doesn't mean the ideas that people brought to the table or the stories or something are any less good. You know? Not like we've evolved to create better, just, you know, better ideas and stories in the last like 20, 30 years. It's like a level where old shit's not worth playing anymore. So much to do there is, man. I don't know what the taste of curry's like, man. Like I said, I still need to try out curry. Just bought a Time Crisis and a G-Con today. A G-Con. I know Time Crisis. Love me some Time Crisis. 3 was my jam. I've tried 4. It was cool too. You think this is a game? You think this is a fucking game? See, if I upload this to YouTube, nobody's gonna... people are just gonna think I'm insane. Just saying random shit all the time. I mean, that is what I do, but... they're not knowing I'm quoting somebody in chat. I'll probably put this chat on screen in a very just micro format eventually if I do upload this. Limitations were good to be more creative. Yeah, I think that's true. When you can't rely on the technology and shit to do the creative work for you. You know, like, okay, so you can't impress people with photorealistic graphics, so how do you do, like, actually impress them, you know? It's like with ideas and stuff like that. I don't think that, like, creativity's, like, stilted and doesn't happen anymore. There's still some great shit, but I definitely think there's an argument to be said about limitations bringing about more creativity. I mean, games have definitely upgraded in certain ways, you know, like, yeah, like Sin said. I mean, look at something like, I bring up Bayonetta a lot, but something that smooth, you know, like, you're not gonna get something that smooth, like, of an action game on, like, PS1, you know, it's just not gonna happen. There's improvements in areas that allow for different kinds of creativity. Like, huge scale shit, like, you know, like Xenoblade Chronicles or Xenoblade Chronicles X or something, like, you can get more creative with massive scale and, you know, level design and shit that you just couldn't do in the past, but in other ways, shit gets dumbed down, for sure. Galgun, yeah, dude. We should play Galgun at some point. Transition to 3DS or even new DS happened, there wouldn't be 3D graphics, yeah. The concept of spirit channeling was born thanks to the limited capacity or GBA cartridge. Really? Guilty Gear Zero, the work they did with Unreal Engine 3 was magic. Yeah, it's really cool seeing people optimize the technology they have to like a crazy level. I mean, you still see people like Silent Hill 3 or something just talking about how great the... I don't think they mocapped it. Was just hand animated, like, you know, facial animations and lips and shit. It was just like really impressive. People just got good at it, man, and it's more impressive than some mocapping nowadays and stuff like that, you know. It's cool. What cool ideas people come up with. Or like music design and shit, when all they had was like a few fucking sounds and limited engines to work with and shit. They made some pretty cool compositions back in the day. Look at, like, you know, they like those crazy Tetris and Picross and whatever the fucking Journey to Silius, whatever, all that great Mega Man music. Like, that's some cool shit, you know. A lot of it sounds pretty different, even though it's all similar shit. I've always felt like earlier games and series, you know, have, you know, they had like a vision for it. They had a lot of love and passion for what they were trying to do. And sometimes this series goes, it might be more for money, or, you know, to keep the franchise going, and maybe a little bit less just because they had a story to tell or a game they want to deliver on. Like, you know, maybe the, you know, Phoenix and Edgeworth not having as much spunk in their movements and shit is just to show that the people who fucking animated it just didn't have that, like, extra, you know, 10% of love they wanted to put into it. It just doesn't have the same impact, man, as it did then. So, I mean, the new characters, sure, but, like, when you compare, like, characters that have been in the series already, it's missing a little something, right? Not to say the games are bad in any way. I wouldn't be playing it if I thought it was bad. But there's definitely some parts where, yeah, you wonder if it's a change to 3D or maybe if it's just different people behind the wheel, different motivations. Things in the AAA games, the music is when they feel like it goes down the most. Yeah, I really do think the old music is better. I don't hate the music in this, but I really like the music in the first 4 games. I don't remember the Investigations music much, but I think it was pretty good. I think it just went with the animations, it went with the characters so well, like, you know. Everything just felt sweet, man. Those, like, really hard, like, fucking bass kicks and shit. The fucking, you know, tense fucking, like, trial moments and stuff. The music was just right there, man. Shit like Godot's theme, man, it just fit, man. It was great. Alright, let me press some shit while I talk here. There's blood all over this fucking thing. I thought it was just painted weird until we got here. Yeah, Gumshoe's theme. Like, everybody has a cool theme in this, but I don't know. A lot of them don't really. This game, maybe they were more catchy or something. I don't know. Like, yeah, Godot's theme. I mean, it's hard to beat that one. I really love the fragrance of dark coffee, man. Also, with more horsepower, devs are going for photorealistic. Yeah, I think that's a problem too, man. I mean, you look at something like the Wind Waker, right? Yeah, it's not photorealistic, but it's got like a timeless, like, just style to it. They're going for a style, like a vision, over just something that looks like totally real. I'm not saying there's no place for photorealism, but I definitely feel like, you know, just making something unique or just something more focused on like design. It's kind of taken a back burner to like just pure like, you know, texture work or something. Like we talked about that when we played Xenoblade Chronicles. I think Xenoblade Chronicles 1 is one of the better looking games out there. It's a Wii game, you know. I mean, sure, the HD patch on the Dolphin's great and all, but it's just the ideas and the level design. I think the world design's great. It just looks good, man, you know? Or you could have something that big and like, you know, a big AAA game nowadays and it just feels like shit. It doesn't seem cool at all. It's like, sure, you got scale and stuff, but there's no like, no heart to it or something. No, yeah, like, you know, there's no, the design's just not there. And I feel like you could do shit like cell shaded or yeah, like Mario. You know, Mario's never had photorealistic, but it's nailed like a style, you know. It looks really nice and crispy. Well, I guess you got indie games and shit for some of that too. But indie games are usually, not usually, but tied more, you know, because of budget down to more 2D fares. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying graphics are bad at all, or we shouldn't have graphics. I just think that, you know, shouldn't sacrifice on like creative shit and design just for like, you know, good graphics. I see 13 versus Xenoblade. I mean, Xenoblade had like better world design, but 13 still looked pretty good. I always thought it was a good looking game. It wasn't like, wow, you know, I can go all these places and do all these things, but I thought it looked good. I thought it was just a fucking, like, actually going around the areas was pretty dull. I don't think Final Fantasies looked bad in a long time. 15 looked great. Had some pretty cool set pieces and big locations and shit, but had some issues with the side quests and stuff like that. I thought the main campaign was cool. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles definitely more impressive from an exploration and world design standpoint than 13 was, but 13 had a case of like, not photorealistic, but really like crispy looking design. Textures, graphics, more like graphics. 13 had really good graphics. The design was cool too, but I feel like everything else brought 13 down so hard, it's like, fuck. That slap bass, dude. Yeah, I remember this song. It's a good song, dude. So much slap bass in that. But yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles, I don't know, it was just solid, man. Like in 13 too. 13 too had some really good looking places, like the city and shit looked really good. It's just like, all you're doing though is walking like a couple little highways in the city. And the only thing that sucked, where like in Xenoblade you'd actually go through the whole world and do shit. I think one of the big things in Xenoblade games is that they do a lot of like vertical work. Like a lot of games are kind of almost flat, you know, nowadays. But they really played with verticality, and I think that makes shit look good, and it, you know, and it lets you kind of like explore differently too. Am I sock on backwards? No, surely not. Yeah, the slap bass is solid, man. Slap bass makes everything better. It's cool seeing like technology like enhance, like give you let you do more ideas, like The Witness kind of. There's a lot of weird like visual like, you know, like work that like weird perception tricks and stuff that you really couldn't pull off on old stuff. I like that kind of crap. It's cool. Except Doom. We're talking like Doom the spell or Doom the game. The new Doom looked good. The new Doom was fun too. I like that they brought back speed. Yeah, I've always been of the same argument, Ripper, that atmosphere for me is a lot more important than like graphics and shit. I feel like I overuse the word atmosphere a lot. I mean, I feel like atmosphere ties in part the gameplay, in bigger part the music, the sound effects, you know, the world design, level design, the graphics. I feel like it kind of ties everything together to make like a feel. And if you only have one of those things, like it can kind of feel kind of like a shell. Yeah, Doom 2016 is great. It was pretty optimized too, man. Like I was running that shit. I mean, my rig's not bad, but there's not many people I heard about not playing that game on really high settings. It was a great game, man. It was fresh first-person shooter for sure. Fresh. I mean, it's old. It feels old school, but that's why it's fresh. Just because we don't do that as much with. You know, mostly it's cover shooters nowadays, which is fine. But I like the arena shooter style quite a bit. Quicker. Sorry if anybody's in here to see the case. And if I do upload this to YouTube, get fucked, man. You can skip ahead, man. Or join the chat. Once the flame is lit, it's in blood. Sure, we'll find out what it reads eventually. The insurgents. Oh, okay. You meant sound effects. I feel like a lot of the reason, like, things feel a little less like passion projects, or maybe a little more soulless sometimes. It's just the amount of fucking people working on these games, man. You look at the credits for some of these, man, like, you know, they're great. You know, I'm not saying they're bad games, but like Ubisoft, like, there's like fucking 1,000 people working on a game. It's like, you know, sometimes I feel like it turns more into like a, I don't say a hive mind, like a group think, like, you know, something tested. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, there's just not as much there. There's no like singular vision, something like that. Or it's too safe maybe for the amount of budget into it, you know, they're not gonna take big chances. I'm not saying I don't like the way games are nowadays. I think it's just different. And if you want like what games used to be, you got indie and shit. I think it's fine, but there's definitely been changes. What genre of games do you think is the hardest to innovate on? God. The hardest to innovate. Yeah, I mean, sports games, you can't really innovate on them because they're based on something that only has so much that can actually be done. I feel like in sports games it's more about adding more features and modes than innovating on the core gameplay. I feel like it's making it as realistic and responsive as possible instead of like really changing the playing field. Mascot and skate around. Hey man, you could be the fucking Slim Jim guy in the BMX games, dude. It's old tech, man. Emma with her scientific methods can shine some light on it. Yeah, I'm sure. Luminol shit. This happens sometimes when we're playing RVNs, and sometimes I get distracted. But when I stream for 10 years a day, I have the right to slow the gameplay down occasionally. God, that's a good question though. The hardest to innovate on. So I feel like you can innovate with first-person shooters, though. I mean, I guess at the end of the day, you still have to point and shoot, but You could do a lot of movement and combo work and, you know, platforming and weird shit like that. I think just because people don't innovate on it super often doesn't mean that it can't be done. Blood on your hand, dude? You got murdered by Maya. I'll have to think about that as we go. Those are good questions, though. It's a fun one. So you could say RTSs, but RTSs just haven't been innovated very much. I think there's still plenty of room to innovate them. I just don't think anybody gives a fuck anymore. It's a genre that has quality of life improvements, but never actually any big game-changing improvements, I thought. RTS has just evolved into, like, other genres, like MOBAs and shit like that. Like, I feel like they kind of just were always the same and then just died. I don't think they ever couldn't have been innovated much. That's more a question like, what didn't innovate ever? What doesn't innovate? Not what would be the hardest to innovate. Is this all blood? No way. Jesus Christ. Still get drained? VNs, man. I don't consider VNs like a game medium though, to be real with you. That's different. It's not gameplay, it's like stories and shit. I mean, there's VNs that have gameplay and shit, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's in the same realm as, like, you know, gameplay or innovation. I joke, you know, like, oh, Danganronpa, you know, it innovated, you know, blah blah blah, but a fan of RTS games allow you to take over unit control manually, while like Warcraft 3 and shit. Yeah, see, I mean, that's where it kind of turned into MOBAs and shit. VNs do some cool tricks, like Fata Morgana. I like the backlog shit, and 999 mixes, like, you know, point and click puzzles and stuff in there, and they innovate enough. I joke around, but it's definitely, I mean, at its core, you're reading, you know, there's only so much you can really do. Oh, do you mean like you could control it like in person? There's been games that have done that before. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool little innovation for sure. I don't think it gets over the problem of, like, just changing up the entire, like, overview of the gameplay. I feel like a lot of them still control and have the same kind of learning curve at the end of the day, but some cool extra gimmicks for sure. Who needs innovation when you have Ohio? If it's got waifus, if it's got husbands, man. It's true, dude. That's all the innovation you need, man. The hardest one, man. I mean, you could say platformers, but platformers get innovated on. There's a bunch of weird ways to make people jump in weird ways. I mean, 3D platformers definitely get innovated on. That extra plane of movement lets you do a lot of bullshit. Adventure games always are getting innovated. That's not even close. Action games get innovated on. Just the smoothness of the gameplay and the different kinds of shit you can pull off. Ugh. My ear. Killing me, dude. God damn. Ugh. Just trying to like massage my ear here. They climbed up or down them, man. Or it's a fucking parachute. I think if you consider racing sims, that would be hard to innovate. Racing games in general, though, no, you can innovate on like arcade racers pretty hard. Look at shit like Distance or like F-Zero or something, you know. Pretty different than like Need for Speed Underground. I mean, anything that's based like very much on reality, I feel like you can't innovate very much. Just pretty much any simulator, like football. I feel like sports games are like simulators. Anti-innovation by nature, yeah. If you just say sports games in general, then no. There's been a lot of like snowboarding games that have innovated, like SSX and shit, or like Wave Race 64, just weird shit, or like NBA, like was it Jam or whatever, the crazy arcadey one. And it felt like Blitz, you know, like crazy shit like that. But if you're going for like simulators, then yeah. Split Second, yeah. There's definitely racing games that are... I call those more arcadey racers, though. Road Trip. I feel like saying simulators is almost like a cop-out, though. You know, like games based on reality, like obviously they're going to be the least amount of innovation, but I guess it answers the question. I feel like that's like the right answer, you know? Not like an arguable one. Less fun, right? But, I mean, I guess it works. Okay. Is every dude afraid of heights in this game, man? You should be afraid of heights, man. You fucking could be dead. It's a spooky thing. I'm dying, man. No snow on that, man. Did somebody clean it off or did it just fall, man? Maybe they didn't want to have snow on it because then it wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess it was cleaned off too because the center is. Somebody move this shit around. Okay, the broken lamp thingy. It was Godo, he cleared the snow. Look, yeah. Mm-hmm. Talk. Huh. Get fucked. Nina's gonna be a killer at some point. I'm calling it, man. Final case is killer, man. I played Warframe. I had a couple hundred in it, I think, or maybe just 100 something. Way back when it was a pretty fresh game. So I'm probably out of the loop quite a bit. Pretty sure this is like a Banshee Prime once I got it. And that was my jam. I had like some Reaper kunais and some pretty good bow. Open world expansion? I haven't been keeping up with it. Does it seem cool? They update that game quite a bit. Is the open world still like, is it just like single player with a couple other people, or is it full MMO style? I'd assume the former. Shit, fuck man. Outside's party based? Okay. That's interesting. Talk with the high priest's wife, man. After her husband was just killed. Wife's the killer, man. And weapon? That's cool. Seems this is pretty fun. Later, Nestor. Good having you, man. Oh, really? No, I haven't seen that. I think the last update I remember was you had like your own little ship you customized inside of. That was it. Seems pretty cool. Glad they keep up with the game, man. Glad there's enough people that they feel they can keep up with the game. Whew. What kind of patriot kills the high priest, man? Yeah, it's on like all the systems, right? The fuck? I like the idea of him running up this mountain again. What we got going on here, man? Too late, bro. Ugh.